Hey, Megan, welcome to Chicago. This is so weird for me to see you like on this side.
I know.
I'm so used to like heading out to the sunny, beautiful
West
weather,
Coast.
West
Yeah.
Coast, like t-shirt on instead
Yeah,
of bundled
I
up.
brought my winter coat.
Good.
Necessary.
How was the trip into beautiful Chicago?
It was good, easy, happy to be here. Good weather, so
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's like, what is it, 40, 42?
yeah.
Carlo, how you
Again,
doing?
winter
That's
coat.
a
but-
heat wave.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm good, man.
You're well?
Yeah, I'm
Nice.
doing good. Looking forward to this session here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Before we jump in, just introduce yourself, give us, name, title, what company you're with. We'll keep it a little secret for a second here. So go ahead and just do a little intro.
Name is Megan Spire. I'm the Vice President of Sales for Bella Canvas. I've been in the industry almost 12 years now. First job right out of college. Been having fun ever since.
First job right out of college.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're going to dive into that for sure.
Yeah, Bella Canvas, very small, boutique, tiny little t-shirt company,
Small.
right? Yeah. No, I mean
At one time, probably.
Yeah, anybody that is selling merch it may not be your job. It just if you've touched a piece of merch, very well about Bella Canvas, but just do the some level. Maybe there's like some person that lives in a cave,
Yeah, someone
somewhere
under
else.
a rock that has
Yeah.
no idea what Bella Canvas is.
Tell us about the brand, like what it is you guys do. Give us like the elevator pitch. I
The
guess.
elevator pitch.
Yeah.
So we're Los Angeles based. We are one of the largest textile manufacturers in the world in terms of units. We have a very unique supply chain, knitting, dyeing, cutting, sewing. All of that is done, in-house essentially. And we have really prided ourselves on creating brand awareness and trying to articulate our why and what makes us different. And I think that is part of why and how we've become so successful, is being very clear on what we stand for and what we're trying to do in the industry.
Yeah, Carlo and I, thank you. You guys, were so gracious, welcomed us over to the factory. We had such an incredible time, but I think we left really impacted by the story.
Inspired as well.
Inspired,
Yeah.
by
Thank
the
you.
story. So what is the why? Tell dive in a little bit deeper, like what is that differentiator? And we were just talking before this, like you don't have to necessarily have like 5 things that separate you, so I sometimes I think like even brands they're like trying to figure everything out, like okay, but we ship quick, we have best designs, like so many, but like maybe there's just this one special thing. What is that for?
Simply put, for us, it's to be different. And you see that show up in many different ways. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a blank canvas for someone to print on. So it is about, how do you show up as an individual? What is that form of self-expression, being different in how in your art and how you self-expression essentially, which I think translates really well into what you guys do as well, that through line all the way to the artist who, whether it's music on the stage and their performance or the way they express themselves through their merchandise. So I think there's a lot of cool synergies there, but being different, I think trying to push the industry forward in whatever way we can, the way that we manufacture, the way that we reduce our impact on the environment, the way we think about product development, the way we think about color, all of those, the way we show up in our marketing today, and trying to create awareness for the brand and just challenge the status quo.
Yeah, like we were just talking, like maintaining that quality. And I'm sure there's people always telling you, like, how can we reduce that cost? How can we get cheaper? How can we get to a better price
We
point?
just talked about that.
We just asked her to do that,
Yeah.
But it's like, well, it doesn't match our brand. It's all the quality. And our last episode was about value-based pricing and like the reason why you can't be cheap. And I feel like you guys always did a great job in just like really maintaining the quality. And like the shiny object might be, let's go a little cheaper and capitalize in this market, but you like kind of have maintained that story.
We have that conversation a lot internally, and then with our partners as well. It is so easy for the race to the bottom in an effort to be profitable, but trying to educate on really the value of maybe spending a little bit more up front, and then what is that return on the investment. You're paying for that graphic. You want it to be seen. You want someone to have this amazing night at your concert rush to the merch counter, spend on that tangible. It's a tangible takeaway from an incredible experience. Not only do you want them to spend on that merch, but you want them to continue to wear it again and again. And so we talk about cost per impression and, does your brand align with the merch that you're creating?
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, you know what else? You talked about investing, and the other thing that we noticed, as we, toured all of your different locations from, like the very, very fancy side, which was like the Aloe side, the beautiful Beverly Hills side, and then, the manufacturing side, the commerce side that we're very familiar with. Like, you guys seem to invest very heavily in company culture. Right. So, I think maybe you could give everybody this grand tour that we got the opportunity of, but, maybe be realistic. You can't, tour everybody. So tell me about, like, what is that company culture? How did you build it? How do you guys invest that way? Because it seemed to us like everybody was pumped about going to work. Right. Everybody super, out. Yeah, they were passionate. Yeah. I mean, like, it didn't seem like they're, from both sides. There's one person that was there was like, oh man, I hate coming to work today.
Yeah. It has to be intentional, right? Like
it has to be.
It has to be intentional. So definitely interested in some of that.
I think people ask me all the time, what do you love about working with Bella Canvas? You've been there so long. And for me, it's always about the people. I spend more time with those beautiful people than I do with my husband sometimes. We're there, we travel together, we spend so much time together. And I love the people. And so I think that when we think about culture, sure, you can do programming and activities and stuff like that. That makes an impact. It makes people want to be there. But I think the relationships are super powerful too. Yep. And the way that you treat your employees, I think in many ways is how they show up for work as well. And so, making sure that when we think about hiring talent, when we think about, how we want to create an experience for them as well is important. And so, I think also to see that you said on the tour, kind of the evolution of the brand, our roots, we started out in East LA with a cutting facility and a sewing footprint there. And then it's grown into this, we've got a 500,000 square foot cutting facility that is the largest and most technologically advanced in the Western Hemisphere. I mean, that to see is incredible in terms of scale.
I can validate that.
Yeah, seen it.
And employing a solid workforce here in the U.S. And then you drive over to Beverly Hills and you see the new headquarters that we share with our sister company, and whether it's the amenities that are provided there, yoga classes in the gym, and creating a place that people want to be. Coming out of COVID, we were doing kind of hybrid, just based on where you were located, and obviously everyone kind of figuring out how to come back to the office, and we made the decision that we were going to do 5 days a week because we believe in the power of being together, collaborating. You learn more, you develop more quickly, and we believe in that fully. And so kind of with that, knowing we were going to ask everyone to come back, we needed to make it a place that they wanted to come and spend their time.
Yeah, they're probably there 6 days a week instead of 5.
Yeah.
I mean, the cold plunge alone, I'd be like,
cool.
I'd be stuck inside of there. A nice wake up. That's
and
awesome.
The energy and like music, like bumping music and cold brew on tap and snacks. And
I mean, I find myself, even I was traveling yesterday, and I found myself so often being like, okay, I'm going to do that meeting with you tomorrow when I get there. For me, like, the video thing, I just have such a hard time connecting. And maybe call me old, or something like that. But like,
you're old for sure.
There's nothing that, for me personally, there's nothing that can compare in any way, shape, or form. Just like, and even like maybe a simple meeting, like, okay, what do you think we're going to do for this line sheet? We're going to have these 2 products or this one. I could just touch the screen, I guess, but it's magical when you're in person. You know,
I
it really
agree.
is.
Or just being able to say, hey, let's talk through this, and you pop your head into someone's office and you get it done fast, rather than, hey, can we schedule 30 minutes on Thursday to talk about this one thing?
4:34 till 4:38. Like,
Yeah.
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 Well, company culture itself, you know, like how do you feed off of somebody if you're doing it virtually? It's tough.
And then we encourage, remote sales reps. We do annual sales summit, bring them in so that they get to spend time talking with the founders and different leaders within the organization, team bonding. We do quarterly team bonding events within the sales team. We're doing a long form, week-long training session in the spring. So trying to bring people in who aren't based there full time as well, I think is important.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Now, I was really impressed with your title. Tell me a little bit about, like, I guess that didn't just happen overnight. They were just not like, hey, here's your new role. Tell us like the build up. I think that, even like for our audience, like maybe like a purchasing agent that, has just become an account manager that, wants to move up and, maybe getting into the sales side. Yeah. How did you get such an incredible title? What was like the progression there?
Well, first of all, thank you. Appreciate that. First role was outside sales. So I came in, I did everything from product presentations to tagging my own samples to field travel with our supplier partners, just trying to connect customers to Bella Canvas in any way possible, like a lot of account management. Mm-hmm. And then I took on some of our larger, majority of our business is done through our supplier partners. And so managing a lot of those relationships, took on some of the larger relationships, and then they created a director role for me. So I took on director of distribution sales, managing the distribution network. So in terms of strategy and go to market and ensuring that it's a combination of selling, so in the field and product and brand, but then also assortment and merchandising and SKU space and inventory. And so I really got a well-rounded view of the business, working cross-departmentally with not just our supplier partners and our customers, but there's, tech is involved and finance is involved and, product development and working really across the business. What is the saying? Trial by fire?
Error. Yeah. Trial by error.
Yeah. And so I think that I think it was 5 years as a outside rep and then 2.5 or so as director. And I think that kind of being thrown into it like that allowed me to, again, exposure across the business. But I worked, very closely with our co-founder and CEO, and I learned a lot. I had incredible mentors in the business that opened doors for me to continue to elevate. And I think that's important, that you have both a mentor and a coach to help you, that helps pull you along.
For sure. And it's like what I tell my team all the time is like, you just mentioned it was 5 years and then plus 2 years. It doesn't happen overnight, right? It's like you have to come in, put the work in, and then slowly start to hit those milestones, which obviously you've achieved. Like before we came in today, I hit up the team. I have a dream team channel for my team here at Culture Studio, and I'm like, you're not on the dream team. not on my dream team. You didn't make that channel. But I'm like, Rich and I are like all about girl power. He's got $2, I got $3. We're like changing the landscape of girls in our own homes.
The population.
Yeah, but like our team here, I think is like 65-70% women, and so I hit up my team. I've got Megan coming in, and like she's young, she's achieved all these things, and like I want them to see that like things don't happen quickly all the time, but if you hit these milestones, there is a career to have in the apparel space. Like no one goes to school except for a couple people grow up like knowing they're going to be in the apparel space, but like did you always know that you're going to kind of like land into this world, or like how did that like
no idea
how'd that happen?
No idea. I went to UC Santa Barbara, studied. Well, I went in as a dance major and went.
Oh, that's way different than merch.
And then I changed my major to sociology because I had no idea what I wanted to do. I felt like the study of people, lots of different focuses, seemed like a good fit because I didn't really know.
Yeah.
Never knew I wanted to had no ambitions for sales whatsoever. I probably thought maybe marketing or communications, whatever that meant. You know, took a PR for writing class and thought, let's figure this out.
Right.
And I graduated and was waiting tables in Santa Barbara, living my best life rent-free with my now husband. And my dad was looking for a new career for himself at the time, and he sent me a Craigslist ad.
Really?
Craigslist.
For Bella Canvas.
For Bella Canvas.
Really?
Wow.
He said, saw this, thought of you.
Taking it back to Craigslist.
Wow.
I think Craigslist is still
it's still
pretty
something
powerful.
Yeah.
Is it?
For certain things.
I believe so. Yeah, I believe it's like Reddit. Like, who knew? Like,
That's because you like to flip stuff, so you're
Yeah.
selling it on Craigslist.
correct. Yeah. That's true.
It's still a thing.
But
so,
no,
you got the referral from Craig, or he saw the.
My dad sent
yeah.
me the link
That's
or
incredible.
the
That's
posting.
awesome.
Yeah.
And it was like sales, marketing, you know, who even knows what it was? Travel to trade shows,
You're
sampling.
like, I
but
understand people, so sales
It
things should
seemed,
be.
and it was like fashion in LA.
Yeah.
I always thought I'd go big city like New York, or because I'm from LA, so I wanted to do New York or San Francisco, but the opportunity just seemed like it could be really interesting, and went in and had a couple of interviews, and the rest is history.
There it is.
Can
That's
you
pretty
give,
cool. Good
you
story.
know, like Carlo said, and I know that all the account managers are definitely, you know, going to be like, as soon as this comes up, they're going to want to listen immediately. Like, and even, you know, on our client side and people that listen, can you give like, what's a tip, you know, like, how have you become successful? What is like this, like, you know, this is one thing that I really did that, you know, catapulted my, you know, career.
The first thing I think is really hard work, dedication. There's a couple of instances where I think it opened doors for me, small things. There was a trade show, so I was very entry level at this point. There was a trade show event in the Northeast, and I wasn't attending. Different team members were, and our trade show booth didn't show. Some rail delay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so they needed someone to take a red eye, go to LAX with like 20 catalog. At the time, catalogs were how we sold. So
physical paper.
you know, catalogs and backdrops. So like, just a pain in the ass for the person at LAX that had to check me. But they needed someone to take a red eye to take these booth materials to get there in time for the event, and I was like, no brainer, I'll go. And they had asked someone in marketing to go, who's actually a good friend of mine. Now she's no longer in the business.
Bye.
She wasn't able to go. And so I
didn't want to
Didn't
go.
want to go. Let's be
Okay,
real.
yeah.
You know.
Shoot it straight with her.
Yeah, she didn't want to go.
She's still a friend. We got
She
to.
said she was sick. She
Yeah.
didn't want to go.
Sure.
Yeah, still a very good friend, actually.
Yeah.
She's going to laugh when she hears
Well,
this.
thanks for being sick, though.
Yeah.
Right? It's like
And it created an opportunity, and I was like, well, yeah, of course, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And I think that was a small shift. It wasn't the most revolutionary thing, but it was something that resonated with my boss at the time and my boss's boss, and that's something that they remembered, that I was willing to
you were down.
do something not so fun
Yeah.
to make sure that Bella Canvas was, you know, could win,
Yeah.
essentially. So little things like that. So hard work and that level of dedication. I mentioned this, but a good coach and a mentor has been transformative for me in the business.
And who was that?
Or
many.
I've had many.
Maybe a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from Abby Gordon, who was our VP sales at the time. She's now VP of design for Aloe.
Cool.
I reported directly to Danny, our co-founder and CEO, and then Chris Blakesley, who's our president. And I've learned different things from each of them at different parts of my career. You know, one might be more on strategy, one might be more on execution, one might be more on relationships and how to make people feel special and connected to Bella Canvas. So I got different things from each of them, but I think that along the way, you know, you're able to take that and then you learn from them, and then they help to create opportunities as well.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Yeah, guidance and leadership. I think that story that you told of like just going above and beyond, it's like, it's not something big. And we always say in
can
this
be small.
industry, it's like, it doesn't take much to stand out. Like,
Yeah.
just say yes to that opportunity.
Yeah.
Jump on the plane. It's not going to ruin your life. It's difficult, of course. It's going to disrupt, but it's like these little things. It doesn't take much to stand out. And you're an example of that.
And then I think a third would be kind of leveraging your network. Like, take time to get to know people at work. Don't just come in and clock in, clock out,
Head down.
which goes along with the kind of going above and beyond. But I think it's about building meaningful relationships within your network, both, you know, whether it's your internal company or external, because people remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
And that's powerful.
100%.
So as far as, you know, now transitioning into being a leader, you know, has that been simple and easy, or like has that come natural? You know, because I think, you know, what we find very often too is like sometimes the best, whatever, individual contributor, the best salesperson, the best engineer, the best artist has a hard time transitioning into leadership. So, you know, how was that for you? And then, you know, do you have any kind of tips on that side too? Is like, this is how I transition so well.
I'm a doer. So for me, especially growing up in the business, I've done much of the different jobs that my team does today. And so getting away from that has been an evolution, because I'm comfortable over here. I know what I'm doing over here. I've mastered it. And so it's easy when you're comfortable to want to spend more time there. And so learning to, it feels good. And I like to check things off my list, and I know what to do here. Yeah. But you know, moving into less of okay, here's my checklist, and more of big picture strategy.
Let me get uncomfortable.
Yeah. And it's also, once I have delegated and I have, in theory, bandwidth to spend time on new things, it's spending time on new things that don't exist. So over here, I'm really comfortable and I know exactly what to do. Over here, I have to figure out what's going to add value to the business. How do I have an impact as a leader? And then also carving out time so that it's not just focused on initiatives or strategy or whatever it is, but then also making sure that I'm spending time coaching and developing up and coming leaders as well. And it's hard in terms of, you know, where do I spend my time as vice president of sales? I have sales, so kind of national sales and distributor sales, customer service rolls up to me, and then sales operations and sales analytics, inventory planning. So I spend, you know, sales is a piece of it, but operations is also another very large piece of it. It depends on the day. This week I'm in the field, you know, so and it's
your sales this week.
I'm sales
and
this week.
You feel comfortable. And you're like, yes.
Yeah. I'm sales this week, and then you know, next week we're doing we're working on 2024 assortment. So new product planning, finalizing ads, drops, looking at the data, trying to figure out what is the line gonna look like for 2024. So I think that's part of why I've enjoyed my time at Bella Canvas so much, is because it feels like no day is the same. There's always a new challenge or opportunity.
Always something different.
Yeah, Michelle can vouch for that. Like, hey, today we're gonna do great, something I've never ever done before. Wonderful. This is awesome.
He was watching some TikToks and he saw something really cool.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna build this great thing. Well, I've never done that before. Great. Go do that. You'll be awesome at it. We know.
Yeah.
Tell us about you personally. You know, like what do you do? Hobbies? Like, just give us some
long walks on the beach.
Yeah. What do you do on the personal side?
I don't know if this counts as a hobby, but I love good food and I love good wine.
You're a foodie.
Well, welcome to Chicago.
Yeah, you're in the right spot.
So
that's it. That's food and wine.
Yeah.
Food and wine. I live in LA with my husband and my dog Cooper. She's the light of my life.
Nice.
What kind of dog is it?
She's a German Shepherd mix.
Okay, a big dog.
Big dog.
Nice.
I got a golden doodle.
Yeah.
Mini.
Not so big
high
dog.
Energy.
More trying to get rich to get a dog. You know, his daughters.
They're a lot of work.
No, God
I couldn't do it if I didn't have Kyle to
support.
I'll bring my daughters over to your two houses, and they can pet their dog.
Just enjoy. I love traveling, spending time with friends.
Cool. This is awesome.
Yeah, and
good life.
Lastly, you know, as far as like, we've been working on like morning routines quite a bit, and I don't know, for some reason, I don't know why, maybe like you say, like we're just getting older, but
you're getting older. Biologically,
we're the same
younger.
Age. Give us give us a good morning routine tip. You know, now cheating, because you live in LA a little bit, you get the sun, you got the circadian rhythm. Us folks from Antarctica, that's a little bit harder.
We're vampires.
But give us what's the morning routine look like, or give us something that I do this and I just kill it for the day because of that.
I'm gonna plug my favorite workout studio right now.
Nice.
It's called
Yeah.
Boonda.
Okay.
They have a couple.
Shout out to Boonda.
Yeah.
They've got a
we're
couple.
going.
They have a couple LA locations. One in Miami. They're franchising. If I get a Boonda class in the morning, my
And what is-
day
what is it? Like, break it down.
It's like. Are you familiar with berries?
Oh, yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like berries.
boot
I'm a member.
But
Yeah,
with
yeah. I got the shorts, tank
with
top.
Stairmaster
expired.
instead of treadmill.
Nice.
And
Oh.
it's a 50-minute class. It just
Just
Cool.
gets it going.
it does it for me. Yeah, that and then a green smoothie.
Nice.
Like that combo. Cliche.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Nice.
the best way for me to. But I'm big on structure and routine as well.
Yeah.
So if I can make those things happen, I know I'm gonna have a better day.
We're going to be in LA on Thursday. Maybe we'll hit a Boonda.
Boonda.
Yeah, let's all do a
I'm-
Should we get a Boonda?
I'm dead serious. I'm still here Thursday, but maybe Friday.
Friday
Yeah.
Boonda.
Friday Boonda.
Yeah, thanks a lot for joining.
Thank
This is
you.
awesome. Let's go do some wine and foodie Chicago
Yes,
stuff.
please.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.